Exponents and fractions, decimal numbers, are all about expressing part of a whole. For each digit to the right of the
Hey 6th graders, Mrs. Freeman here. Tonight's lesson 2.5 is comparing decimals. Our objectives are compare decimals and order decimals. Equivalent decimals are two decimals that represent the same amount. So you can see below we've got 2/10 strips, which represents 2/10. And we could write that decimal value as 0 and 2/10. Now looking to the right, we see that those 2/10 now have been broken down into hundredths cubes. And there are 20 of them, so it's still 20 hundredths. So we write 0 and 20 hundredths. So 0 and 2/10 and 0 and 20 hundredths are equivalent decimals. When we're comparing decimals, we want to use the place value method. So the first thing we do is we line up the decimal points of the values we're comparing. We add a 0 to any empty place values if needed. You see we have one down below. Then we start with the greatest place value and compare those digits. So we'll start at the tens, and they have the same amount of tens, so we move to the next largest value, and that would be the ones, and again they're the same. So we go ahead and move to the tenths, and that's where we notice the difference. The top number has 3/10 versus the bottom number has 2/10. So therefore, 15 and 38 hundredths is greater than 15 and 2/10. Copy the problem below into your math notebook. Circle the larger number. Press play when you're ready to check your work. We can use the same decimal place value method when comparing decimals to see if they're greater than, less than, or equal to each other. I'll begin by writing the other decimal place value underneath, and then I'm able to start comparing the decimal place values. And I notice the ones are the same, and it's not until I get to the hundredths that one is larger. So 1 and 61 thousandths is greater than 1 and 8 thousandths. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and solve problems 2 and 3 in your math notebook. Remember to use the decimal place value method, and press play when you're ready to check your work. Often we need to put decimal place values in order from greatest to least or least to greatest. And this particular example, we're going to be doing greatest to least. It's really important that we identify what order we are to use. So using our current method of lining up the place values, go ahead and rewrite the numbers with the place values matched up. Then I'm going to go ahead and insert those zeros just to make sure that I don't miss a place value or make a mistake. Now we're ready to start comparing the place values. And so if we go ahead and compare the ones, we notice that they're all the same. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next place value, and I noticed that one of the tenths is 0. So now I know that that's going to be the least number. So I'm going to go ahead and write that one in the last position. And I'm also going to cross it off because we've used it up. I'm going to continue comparing place values. And now I'm at the hundredths. And what I notice about the hundredths is that I have 2 that are at 0 and one is 1.33. So I think we already found our largest decimal place value. We found our largest decimal, and that's 1.33. And then I'm going to cross that one off, and now I've got 2 that I'm comparing, and I'm going to move that circle one more time to compare. And now I'm comparing 0 thousandths to 3 thousandths. So of course 3 thousandths is larger. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1.303 thousandths, and then all that's left is 1.3. So notice that I didn't write the extra zeros on the values when I ordered them from greatest to least. Now it's your turn. For numbers 4 and 5, copy the problems into your math notebook using the decimal place value method, and then make sure you read the directions carefully to put them in the correct order. Press play when you're ready to check your work. So tonight's lesson 2.5 was on comparing decimals. I can compare decimals and ordered decimals. Review any part of this video you need to, then head on over to Schoology.com and take the quiz. See you!